guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
What's up, Snoop? Would you believe me? Do you smell that? Do you hear that? I think it's time! It is officially Christmas season! If you can't tell, it is my favorite. I invite you to come, welcome to my channel, put on your cozy pajamas because guess what time it is? It's time to make a Christmas wreath. Yes, it is finally time. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is D.Crizzle, and here I talk about advice, travel, everything under the sun because I like to yap. I hope you're enjoying this season because we're in for a ride. Just as you, like you, I'm also a girl who had to go through a bunch of stuff to realize I wish someone told me this in high school so I didn't have to figure it out later. So in the spirit of the holidays, I'm going to tell you 12 things you wish that your mama told you or somebody told you or yourself told you and you actually processed it. But I'm going to do it for you in the spirit of the 12 days of Christmas. So grab your wreaths, grab your decor, and let's talk about it. Ooh, am I going to get deep about this? I mean, how else are y'all gonna relate? I might as well. So, every no makes room for a yes. And the reason why every no makes room for a yes is because, look, we all take L's. We all tired of it. We all get sick of it. We want to get no's at some point of our lives. And especially in this time of like the era that we're in where everybody is supposed to get all the things that they want and manifest, you gotta understand no's come with that. But sometimes you think that something that's good for you ain't truly what it actually meant to be. So even though that you did take something and said yes, it probably was definitely a no, but you needed it as a lesson. Like for me, do I want to talk about this? Yeah. I accepted to go to Vegas. I was excited about going to Vegas. I was excited for working for Vegas. I was excited to do I want to tell y'all what I do for a living? I was excited to do, but that place was just miserable for me. I was probably borderline depressed. I was stressed. I didn't feel welcome. I thought it was something that I was supposed to be a part of, but then I realized, nah, I needed to bounce. I was being mistreated. I was being misguided. It was just a lot in that environment that felt like, yeah, I said yes, so I need to make it work. But in reality, it was a no. But because that no happens, I'm in a better yes. I'm living my best life now. I'm happy. I feel loved. I feel like I'm learning way more than I was then. So like, I'm freaking ecstatic, okay? 2, know what you want. Number 2, know what you want in a relationship. If you know what you want in a relationship, you ain't gonna have no issues. The problem is that we all want a relationship, but then we're very like keen or okay with things in the beginning, especially when you're trying to get to know a person. Like, if you know that you're the type of person who don't want to do a long distance relationship, why are you looking for people that's far? If you know you're the type of person who wants somebody to always bring you flowers every week, why are you talking to somebody who told you that they're not gonna do that? The reason why you ain't got a relationship is because you keep finding people that ain't giving you the relationship that you want. And I learned that the hard way, and this ties into number 3. Don't let a man tell you twice. I didn't even come up with that. My father did. My father told me, and he didn't tell it to me. He told me because I told him a story about somebody, and then he was like, one thing about life, don't let a man tell you twice. And once I heard that, it all made sense. It all made sense. You cannot let a man tell you twice. And this is the reason why I say you shouldn't let a man tell you twice. And I would talk about my own self. So buckle in for this story time. I was in college and there was this guy I really liked. And like he didn't even get out of a relationship. In the light of the dark, or however you say it, in the dark, he had went to that same school with his ex. They both decided to go to that school together, but these didn't work out. When I asked him if he was over his ex, he told me he was. He didn't really care, blah, 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 blah. Okay, back to the main story, and then we're gonna go back to that. I wasted 2 years of my life trying to talk to this dude, give him time, being patient. Kind of ties in with the know what you want in a relationship. If you know you want a relationship, don't waste your time with someone who's acting like they don't, because he kept telling me he wasn't looking for anything anytime soon. But little old me was like, oh, I could wait a year. I'm not like impatient. Like, I'll give you time because I know I want you. Why did I do that? So I let 2 years go by, wasting my time, running around, kikiing with this dude, to then find out through a Facebook post that he was still talking to his ex. And when I addressed him about it, he said, I was just trying to see something. Trying to see something turned into them dating again 2 months later. Yeah, I was the Dumbo. But it taught me, when dudes straight up tell you what they are and aren't gonna do, they mean it. They mean it the first time. They're not like women. We joke too much. As women, we're funny. Anybody tell us that we're not funny, we naturally funny. We be like, I'm not gonna do that. JK. No, dudes ain't do like that. If they straight up tell you the first time and then try to correct it the second time, they don't mean it. Trust the first time. Don't let a dude tell you twice. Don't let anybody tell you twice, because they mean what they meant, what they said, and they not gonna do or what they are gonna do. Don't let them tell you twice. I'm telling you now, you're gonna be looking dumb just like me. Just like me. Oh, this one is big. Friends will come and go. I'm telling y'all now, like, those little petty grudges that you hold on to, and yes, it's petty. Even if you think it's not petty, it's petty. Like you saying, like, I don't talk to her because in college she did yada 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 yada. It's been 5 years. Have you really reflected on it and thought about it and realized, yeah, I was kind of tripping because all I had to do was reach out and say this? It do take two. It do take two people. Definitely. What's that saying? It's 2 lanes in a row. What? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't remember the saying, but it definitely takes 2 people. It definitely takes 2. But one thing is, if it's one of those relationships that you always thought about and you always want to reach out to because it was never resolved, just do it. We live way too long in this world to be thinking about what ifs constantly our whole entire lives. Just reach out to that friend. And if they don't respond, they don't respond. You got your answer. But one thing that everybody needs to realize is that not all friendships are technically over. It's okay to fall out with somebody for like a year or a few months and then y'all reconnect. You gotta understand, people grow, you grow. You might find new morals in your life that don't really akin to certain people. Those people that you feel like you ghosted, you probably didn't really actually ghost. You guys just outgrew each other. Maybe later in life, you guys will come back together and be friends again or reconnect or find new connections. It's not that deep. And honestly, holding grudges for that dang long and then you don't even remember why y'all fell out and why y'all not friends no more, just give it up. Just stop. Just stop. This one is a big one that I think some schools taught it. My school never taught it. I think it's in home economics or something like that. I don't remember. Consumers ed. Learn and understand a 401k. I'm telling you now, especially once you turn 18, like, invest in yourself. Learn your retirement. Don't sit there and not opt in retirement, because baby, the way they're contributing to our retirement plans now, if you my age, we ain't finna retire until we like 62, 65. So I'm telling you now, invest in yourself. Learn the difference between an IRA and a Roth IRA. In my personal opinion, it's better to do a Roth IRA. The reason why is because a Roth is already pre-taxed, right? So the amount that's going in there is already pre-taxed. So by the time you retire, you don't have to pay any taxes. You can just withdraw the amount when it's ready. If you do a regular IRA, you got to pay the taxes when it's time to withdraw. And baby, depending on where you live in the state you in, I tell you now, I ain't doing that in California. Ain't finna retire until y'all owe y'all $25,000. No. So definitely invest, and also ask your job like if they have additional like accounts to contribute to, like stocks or their savings accounts that help benefit your retirement plan. This makes a huge difference. And the biggest thing I can say is automatically contribute 6% of what you get paid. The reason why is you're not going to mix that 6% if you automatically do it when you enroll. You're not going to know. No one knows what their first paycheck looks like because you're waiting for the first paycheck, especially in a new job. Just sign up for the 6% and you won't ever miss it. And then you know that you're putting in a decent amount for your retirement, especially at a young age. If you ain't got no kids, if you ain't got no crazy expenses like a house or a car note, plug it in, put in as much money towards your retirement as possible, because a lot of the times when life hits later, especially when you decide to have a family or buy a house and stuff, you might not be able to contribute as much into your retirement. And that sucks because that makes you have to work longer. So the younger you are with less like financial commitments, I say plug away into it. It will be worth it in the end. Your 50-year-old retirement in Sicily is going to slap. Just do it now. Understand health insurance. Understand health insurance. I will say I am more fortunate than most. Shout out to my mama, the health insurance guru. I ain't know nothing, especially once I turned 26. I say understand health insurance. I had to learn the difference what a PPO and an HMO stood for. And this is what I'll say. PPO is usually benefiting people who have more of the needs in health. Like if you're a person that wants to go to a dermatologist, that wants to go towards more medical services like therapy, or I'm trying to think, like physical therapy, like you play sports, you might injure yourself, you're more prone to it. Or if you're a person who has been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease or any type of other health issues, it's probably more beneficial for you to go with a PPO. But that comes with high deductibles. That's the thing. A deductible is something you have to meet every year for your insurance to be able to pay off the bills that you have. So if you have a really high deductible, like $1,000, then you have to meet up to $1,000, and then your insurance will cover the rest. The difference is with the HMO and PPO is HMOs don't really have deductibles. Usually you have things called co-pays. So like if you go to the doctor, you'll probably have to pay like a $15 copay for a doctor, a $50 copay for emergency rooms. But usually you have to stay within a network. You don't get a lot of variety with a HMO. You kind of have to stay more locally in a sense. You don't get to automatically get to explore this huge, vast array of doctors. So that could be something that you go back and forth about. But if you're a person who's just very like well-rounded in health, you don't really do much, you just go to your general physician once a year or do your women's wellness exam once a year, an HMO might just be more beneficial for you because you're not going to really meet those deductibles like that with a PPO, and that's just going to stress you out when that bill comes in and it's like, hey, your insurance couldn't cover this because you didn't meet it, and that's okay. But learning your insurance before you turn 26, before you get kicked off of your parents' plan, will help save stress when it comes open enrollment. When it comes time for open enrollment, and you ain't staring at your paper like, which one do I choose? Because I'm confused. I'm just trying to see if that's cute. Yeah, I think that's cute. I think we getting somewhere. This comes down to the decision of colleges, and this mostly speaks to my fellow Black students. You choosing a PWI does not devalue your Blackness. If you don't know what a PWI is, it's a predominantly white institution. It just means that it has a very higher percentage in people who are white. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But we all know that there are institutions called HBCUs, which are historical Black college and universities. And these are primarily made for Black or minority students to attend. It kind of embodies this own community of support. and knowledge among the Black community. And it's kind of been this division rift I've been seeing lately of, do you go to a PWI or HBCU, and why are you going to a PWI if you go to an HBCU? Look, I will give you my explanation on why I did it. At the time, remind you, I graduated in 2015. I went to school for forensic chemistry. At that time, because some of you guys are going to come for me saying, no, my school taught, at that time, there was a very limited amount, I think only 2 HBCUs that had a major in forensic chemistry. And I am more of those type of person that looks more at somebody's program than the school. Like what kind of connections, what kind of doctors, what kind of research, especially in science, is this university going to give me? And I found that the HBCUs didn't fit me. Was it one of those things like I refuse to go to HBCU? No, I would have loved to, but it just didn't fit the type of like education I was looking for. And I find that especially when you decide to join Black orgs like fraternities or sororities, but you did it at a PWI, you kind of get frowned upon. In my opinion, we all doing the same thing. We all trying to get to the same place, a job. So why does it have to be that deep? Don't let anybody get to you about your choice and what you made. Be happy in it. Whether it's PWI or HBCUs, be proud in the fact that you went to college, especially if you are a first generation, because that is major. So props to you. Especially when you go off to college, I feel like this is a big one. You know how people always say surround yourself with like-minded people? I'm gonna tell you something else. Don't always surround yourself with like-minded people. And the reason why I say this is because have you ever ran into those people who you're like, I don't understand why they act like that, or they're just stuck in their ways, or they don't see the perspective of other things, or they don't see anything past their little world or community? Those are usually people that only hang out with their people. Especially when you come from a small town, it's like really huge. Like I come from a small town, and I sometimes do feel like when I look at people who are still at my hometown, they just kind of get stuck in that hometown mentality. And I'm like, there's so much more out there. There's so many opinions. There's so many debates. When I tell you in college, I ran into so many different type of people, so many different ethics and beliefs and like perspective on things, it makes you process more of like, there's so much more out there and there's so much more to learn. So sometimes when you stay in your own bubble of people who are exactly like you, you're not going to see anything pass. Especially when you get in the workforce, you have to realize when you get to the workforce, nobody's the same at your job. There's going to be somebody who irritates the crap out of you. And there's going to be some people that open your eyes to new opportunities and insights that you thought you never would go towards, but now you have that resource. So that's why it's important to surround yourself not with all the same like-minded people, but a little sprinkle, a little dash, a little paprika up in there, and enjoy what is serving you. Here's a big one too, in developing your 20s, a lot of the time, like you're trying to figure out what's your look. I'm already laughing at myself. Especially if you were like in a strict household, man, the amount of times us in our own homes or in college, you go through the sexy awkward stage. You trying to sew a little clavicle more. You wearing the thigh high boobs. You trying to wear booty short. Look, it's a phase. Everybody goes through it. But the one thing I will say is do not, and I mean this, do not compare your appearance to other people. This is a big thing, and I feel like since COVID, it's been more like apparent, especially in younger girls. It's the trends, man. It's all the aesthetics. It's all the, oh, you gotta look like this. Oh, how to be that girl in 90 days. Excuse my French, but all that, do you. Just do you, because the wrong reason why I tell you to do you is you feel more secure in yourself later if you do you than rather trying to follow what somebody else did, because you're going to hit this point of your life where you're going to feel like, I want to feel like this, I want to feel grown, I want to feel secure, but you don't feel that way because you followed what everybody else was doing. You were doing what people were trying to get to themselves or research for themselves, but you can't do that. You can't compare. Yeah, you know, that person might be skinnier than you, or that person has abs, or that person's hair, you want it so bad, but don't become so attached to it that you can't see the own beauty that you hold within yourself, because that's what's going to tear you down later. You gotta be able to recognize the own beauty you have in yourself in order to build yourself. And that goes in connection with finding your own style. Look, I'm telling y'all now, I was the queen of style in high school. Yeah, I was gonna look freaking cringy, and yeah, I was gonna look like what the heck I was wearing, but I could tell you now, my friends could tell you now, I ate down with my outfits in high school. People was asking me like, oh yeah, like where you get that from? That's fly, that's cool. I was stacking layers, shirts, bow ties, glasses, hats. Like, you can't tell me nothing. That I was definitely one of those people that found their own style. And that's why I love fashion so much now. Maybe it probably contributes to me watching Bratz a lot as a kid, because baby, I got a passion for fashion. But at the end of the day, I was able to explore that on my own. But I will say, when I got to college, I kind of got a little shy with fashion, unless it was time to pop out. When it was time to pop out, I popped out. But like, I didn't wear loud or extravagant clothing when I was in college, because no one did. Everybody wore sweatpants and crew necks and t-shirts. Like, it just wasn't a thing. And when you go to like colleges, it kind of goes back to that. When you go to colleges, it kind of goes back to that whole saying of like, no one is like-minded when you go to environments that big, because some people will look at you side-eye and then they will just open their big mouth because they mama never told them to hold their thoughts to themselves. And they'll say something like, why you overdressed? Is it your birthday? No, I just got a passion for fashion. How about you? But now that I'm like back older and I got money, I definitely be experimenting in my closet. But you have to find your style, because if you follow aesthetics and trends, you're following kind of a bit of that whole like, ooh, I like the way that looks on her, so I want to do it. Oh, I like wearing all black, so I'm gonna wear all black. But then when it feels like it's not cool anymore, then you find yourself going back through that cycle over and over again. What I'm gonna recommend is, if you do see something that you like, ask yourself, why do I like that? If you like the clean sleekness, ask yourself, do I like it because it's trendy, or do I like it because I think that's something that would befit me? If you think it's something that befit you, try it. The cool part about that is that you can add on other things. Ooh, but I like the blingy stuff. Okay, wear be sleek, but have blingy accessories. You see what we're doing here? We're building it. We're building it on. We're not putting it on, throwing it away, putting it on, throwing it away. We're adding pieces to ourselves to personificate who we are on the outside. We're not wearing anyone else. We're wearing ourselves to personificate it on the outside, okay? Understand that and live that. Going with that, one thing I will say that I wish I did more is investing in my health more than my beauty, because they go hand in hand, and I'm gonna tell you why they go hand in hand. A lot of people will tell you like beauty, 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 especially like if you're on TikTok now, like go to like the whole like buy this right primer, buy this, buy this, put on your makeup, oh, wear this purse, wear this outfit, walk this way, talk this way. I'm telling you now, that's all a bunch of hoopla, a whole bunch of hoopla. What you want to do is invest in your health. When you invest in your health, your body just naturally glows. If you go and just walk for an hour a day, it will show. If you take vitamins, it will show. If you get better moisturizer, it will show, especially when it comes to your diet. If you out there busting down 10 McChickens within a month or constantly always going out to eat, it's gonna show. Your body's gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna be asking yourself, why am I always freaking tired? You're tired because you keep eating Big Macs. You're tired because you keep getting that dang 10-piece at Wingstop. You gotta feed your body better than that. That's why I say health is more important than beauty, because you can't have beauty without having good health. It's just one of those things. Now, it's always important to work on your health. Someone can look at me and say that I'm a clean bill of health. I am not. I have a terrible immune system sometimes. So I'm working more on helping my immune system. And I'm always working out. I'm trying to get better at my workout goals, and sometimes I slip up. So everybody's perception on health is different, but if you know that you're doing something to your body that does not make you feel good, don't do it. Just don't. If you're tired of wearing makeup every day, that could be one of the things that could be beneficial to your health, to your mental health. So you don't have to always do it. So just don't. Work on that and ask yourself, like, why do I want that? Why do I have to work towards that? Because you're probably sick and tired of it, to be honest. But your health will go and apply to your beauty as long as you work on it. And then my last one. And some people probably gonna be bad that I say this. Wear your natural hair. I know. Don't be speaking on a black woman's hair. Well, guess what? I'm black. Let me stop. I say go through that awkward phase of wearing your hair. And the reason why I say go through the awkward phase of wearing your hair, because don't get me wrong. Everybody women is gonna tell you that they probably didn't do the big chop because they was worried about how they were gonna look. The attachment as black women that we have to our hair is insane. And don't get me wrong, I'm that person. There's certain things that I have to break out of myself from doing, because it's just like, why am I doing that? Why am I talking to myself that way? Why am I acting like my hair isn't done? My hair is done. I just need to brush it and style it, and it's freaking done. But I'm so pressed about society standards that I don't even realize how deep it's gotten to me. And I think that's why we need to wear our natural hair more and actually just go through that phase, go through that stage, experiment, find what products that work for you, because I do feel like it's one of those unique experiences. Like, every product does not work for everybody, and that's okay. But I think that's the thing. Like, you do have to invest in it. You do have to love it. But I think the reason why everyone should try to actually go wear their natural hair, especially if you thought about it, is it gives you this fulfilling beauty about yourself, that you just fully feel like you're rawly here. It's not one of those things that's like, oh, if I go get a wig or braids, I feel done up every day. But like, when you wear your natural hair, you feel like you get to a point of your life where you wake up and you're like, this is me and I look freaking good. You don't wake up and be like, dang, I need to schedule myself in the hair books. I think that's what's like freeing, empowering about it, is that you just feel this sense of wholeness. You feel this sense of wholeness that, like, you don't need all those things to feel like you're beautiful. And that's what I think is amazing about it. Ooh, I think we done. I think I finished this wreath. Ooh, ain't that cute? The lights, the flowers, the pine cones. I wanted to go with something like nice and welcoming for the season, for the holiday. I hope your wreaths turned out cute if you made one, or that you enjoyed this talk. But I hope you leave with these 12 points of advice, feeling like you learned something, or feeling like you're inspired to try something new that you haven't. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I hope you have a jolly Christmas and a slapping New Year's. And like and comment down below. Let me know what you're gonna try. Let me know how you feel about everything. And I'm just gonna tell you now, this is going on my door, and I want everybody in the neighborhood to see it. I hope you feel the same way. Peace out.